Been saying it for weeks now, but after what just went down, it's no longer a theory, it's a fact. Shedeur Sanders just sent a message to the entire NFL, and not a whisper, not a subtle little note tucked under the door. I'm talking about a thunderclap, a 15-4-15 masterclass that silenced every critic in the building and put Dillon Gabriel's entire preseason resume in the rearview, and that was just practice. That was day 11. Let me take you back. Remember where he started? It's buried? Dead last on the Browns' quarterback depth chart. Labeled a gimmick, a legacy pick, a sideshow. They dismissed him, diminished him, reduced him to a headline grabber, not a quarterback. And while they were handing first-team reps to guys who couldn't carry his cleats, Shedeur just waited, and watched. Kept receipts, stayed sharp. And now? All right, I'm launching a giveaway like never before. Think you know which Browns quarterback will start the first official game? Drop your prediction in the comments, hit that like button, and make sure you're subscribed because 5 lucky winners will score a free game jersey. The more videos you comment on, the better your chances. Now let's continue the video from where we left off. Now, under the Friday night lights in Charlotte, that spotlight they tried to hide him from. He's stepping right into it. Because guess what just happened? The Cleveland Browns, the same. Team that spent the entire offseason acting like Shedeur Sanders was a ghost. It's named him the starting quarterback for the preseason opener against the Carolina Panthers. And let me make one thing very clear. This ain't ceremonial. This ain't a let the rookie have some fun moment. This is real. This is the beginning of something nobody, not the coaches, not the front office, not even the fans, was ready for. You remember draft night? I do. I remember watching Shedeur's name free fall down that board while teams snatched up a washed-up Joe Flacco, an overhyped Kenny Pickett, and an undersized Dillon Gabriel like they were solving their franchise problems. Meanwhile, Shedeur was just ... waiting again. But guess what? Fuse guys are now benched, bruised, or banged up. And who's left standing in the fire? Yeah, you already know, but don't get it twisted. This was never the plan. This isn't some genius move by the Browns coaching staff. This isn't strategy, it's desperation, it's panic. The injuries forced their hand, and now Shedeur Sanders is the last man standing. It's not because they believed in him, because they had to. And now he's got their full attention. Friday night isn't just a game, it's a reckoning. It's Shedeur stepping onto that field with one purpose: to prove that the kid they tried to bury might be the only one who can save them. Let's be honest, the Browns didn't draft Shedeur Sanders to lead this team. They drafted him to calm the noise, to play PR stuntman through Jimmy Haslam, the owner. Mind you, publicly said he didn't even endorse the pick. The writing was on the wall. They didn't see Shedeur as a contender. They saw him as a distraction with a famous last name. That's why they stuck him behind Kenny Pickett, whose hamstrings are stitched together with prayers, and Dillon Gabriel, a 5'11" college hero who couldn't hit a slant if you gave him GPS and a guided missile. And yeah, even Joe Flacco, who's got one foot in retirement and the other in a rocking chair, was handed the QB1 reps. And yet, Shedeur never flinched. They gave him nothing, no chemistry with the starters, no first-team protection, no design reps, just scout team duties and second-string chaos. And even then, even in the shadows, he started turning heads. And now? Now the Browns are about to find out what happens when the quarterback you tried to muzzle finally gets handed the mic. Because this game, it's not just a tryout. It's not just a preseason walkthrough. It's a Shedeur Sanders audition for destiny. No safety net, no excuses, just raw pressure. National stage, real NFL defense, no real prep time. And if he still tears it up, every single narrative burns. Because Shedeur is walking into that stadium without first-team reps, without premier weapons, and without the backing of the franchise that drafted him. But if he carves up the Panthers anyway, if he dices up their defense with cold-blooded precision, then all those excuses, the media noise, the scouting doubts, the politics, it all goes up in flames. Let's be real about this quarterback room. That depth chart? It reads like bad satire. Joe Flacco on top, followed by Pickett, Gabriel, and Shedeur, buried at the bottom like they were hoping we'd forget he existed. They even tossed Tyler Huntley in there like a last-minute fire extinguisher. But here's the reality. If we're talking pure talent, reading a defense, leading a huddle, extending plays, elevating teammates, then Shedeur Sanders isn't. It's just the best option. It's the only real option. Let's break it down, Flacco. Is 40 more worried about his legacy than the next down? Gabriel? College phenom? Sure. But this ain't Norman, Oklahoma. This is the NFL. The linebackers don't major in chemistry. They major in chaos. And Gabriel, he's already breaking down. His hamstring issues, shaky footwork, overwhelmed by NFL speed. Pickett, still rocking to gloves like he's trying out for. A snowball fight? And Huntley, solid, reliable, safe. But that's the problem. He's too safe. He doesn't challenge the system, doesn't threaten the hierarchy. That's exactly why they brought him in, not to lead to stall. To block Shedeur just long enough to avoid a revolution. But I've got news for you. That revolution, it's already started, because Shedeur doesn't need a full game to light the spark. He just needs one drive, one moment. It's one series of throws. That makes the entire stadium sit up and say, wait, this dude's different. When that happens, and I believe it will happen, the Embry age won't be facing a quarterback controversy. They'll be staring down a quarterback awakening. It's bigger than football now. This is about every underdog who's ever been counted out. It's every black quarterback who's been called raw instead of brilliant. It's every son who's had to prove that he's more than just his father's name. This Friday night, not just a game, it's justice, it's legacy. It's Shedeur Sanders walking into that stadium, dragging every slight, every critique, every bit of doubt with him and setting it all on fire. Not because the Browns believed in him, because the football gods forced their hand. And now they'll have to live with what comes next. You got Joe Flacco, the old vet, sitting there telling the media he's not really in the mood to be a mentor. He basically said, if I admit I don't want a mentor, I look bad. But if I say I do, I look like I'm done. That's not confidence. That's a man gripping onto the final threads of a career that's fading fast. That's not leadership. That's self-preservation. Then there's Kenny Pickett, still rocking the two gloves like it's a fashion statement, but we know the truth. That's not flair. That's fear. That's a quarterback who doesn't trust his own grip, his own reads, maybe even his own standing in this league. And these are the veterans Shedeur Sanders is supposedly here to learn from. Come on, zoom out with me for a second. Really look at this Cleveland quarterback room. It's not a depth chart. It's a battleground. It's a civil war fueled by desperation, egos, and shattered promises. Watson? Once electric, now we're questioning if his legs will ever be what they were. Flacco, holding on by name recognition. Pickett, still trying to prove he even belongs. And Dylan Gabriel, is talented, sure, but 31 teams passed on him for a reason. All right? I'm launching a giveaway like never before. Think you know which Browns quarterback will start the first official game? Drop your prediction in the comments, hit that like button, and make sure you're subscribed, because 5 lucky winners will score a free game jersey. The more videos you comment on, the better your chances. Now, let's continue the video from where we left off. Now drop Shedeur Sanders into that chaos.com focused, prepared. He didn't storm in demanding respect. He walked in and earned it. Quietly, consistently. Throw after throw, that 13-4 -13 outing, that wasn't some lucky hot streak. That was a warning shot. That was Shedeur telling the league, I'm not waiting for my moment, I am the moment. And every single completion was a masterclass in footwork, decision-making, and command. These weren't gimmicks. These weren't bubble screens or stat-padding dump-offs. These were NFL throws, layered balls over the middle, back shoulder. Timing routes, perfect reads against real coverages. And yet, the critics stay clinging to their lazy narratives. Oh, he's just Deion's kid. He's a product of hype. They see the name, they assume privilege. But what they refuse to see is the grit, the obsession, the football IQ that this kid brings to every single snap. Let me break it down. Shedeur didn't come out of some gimmicky spread system. He ran a pro-style offense at Colorado. It's called protections. Diagnosed blitzes, read defenses. It's operated under the microscope every single week. Carried a program on his back while the media dissected every misstep. And he thrived. That kind of pressure? Most rookies drown in it. But Shedeur, it's not just surviving the leap to the NFL, he's thriving in it. sprinting across that mental chasm that separates college from Sundays, leaving behind doubts, critics, and expectations in a trail of dust. And now, Kevin Stefanski is in a spot, because the moment Shedeur lit it up at OTAs, the quarterback room didn't just get crowded, it got complicated. Ownership wants to believe in Watson. They paid him. Flacco has the resume. Pickett has the draft pedigree. But Shedeur's got the momentum. And momentum in the NFL is dangerous. It doesn't care about salary caps or veteran loyalty. It cares about results. Stefanski told the media they're mixing it up daily. Sounds like coach speak, right? But you read between the lines. That's not rotation. That's scrambling. That's trying to buy time while the narrative shifts underneath you. Because here's the truth. NFL OTAs aren't backyard drills. They're controlled chaos designed to expose quarterbacks. It's test timing, processing, anticipation, pocket movement. And most rookies, they flinch, they hesitate. But Shedeur Sanders, he delivered a clinic. And he's not done. What's wild is, this while others are heading home after practice, Sanders is still there. Grinding tape, asking questions, getting reps. Building timing with receivers. That's what the greats do. Brady did it. Brees lived it. Mahomes still breathes it. Now you tell me, when's the last time Cleveland had that? This city's seen quarterback after quarterback crash and burn. Couch, Quinn, Manziel, Mayfield. The names are heavy. The failures, even heavier. But Shedeur, he's different. He's not erratic, not emotionally fragile, not overwhelmed by expectations. He's steady, he's sharp, he's ready. And across the league, the whispers are getting louder. Scouts are making calls. How's the kid looking? Is this real? And the answer keeps coming back the same. It's real, because you can't fake the touch Sanders is putting on these throws. You can't fake how defensive backs react after he threads a needle over the middle. You can't fake the leadership, the calm, the command. And now the national media is starting to catch up. They're finally seeing what those of us who've been locked in already know. Shedeur's not just Deion's son anymore. He's a field general, manipulating safeties, calling audibles, owning the huddle. The Browns thought they were getting a developmental backup. They had no idea they were bringing in a full-blown quarterback. Controversy? And let me say this loud and clear. If Shedeur Sanders carries this into the preseason, if he goes out there in real live reps and keeps his foot on the gas, protects the ball, moves the offense, shows that same poise under pressure, then this is no longer a debate. It's a countdown, and the Browns front office will have to make the toughest decision they've made in a decade. Because at that point, it won't be about draft position or contracts or resumes. It'll be about truth, about what we're seeing with our own eyes. About a rookie who refused to wait his turn, Shedeur. Sanders didn't come here to sit. He came to take it. And if you've been paying attention, you know, he already is.